So let's get into the secret that top coaches use to close $10,000 deals on a consistent basis. Now, the first thing you need to understand is the high ticket launch IG hype sequence. Now, we're going to cover this first, and this is exactly how they actually get traffic through the door. They build up hype, they build up curiosity, and then they get people to book in a call with them. So, section 1 is foundation. Now, this is just content, right? We're actually engineering something where all this stuff is just engineered. Now, what do you think? Like most coaches, the top ones, do you think they just put out random CTAs in their content? They put out deliberate CTAs. And that's why all these small coaches online, they just throw random CTAs and wonder no one clicks because you're just a beginner, you're an amateur. And all the top guys in the space, they're deliberately placing specific CTAs at certain times. And they know damn well what exactly they're saying. They know the emotions they're causing. They're triggering inside the viewers' heads. Now, we're here to build tension. We're here to build obsession and create demand before the launch even happens. Now, this guy, I'm just going to break down the 7-day Instagram story hype sequence for your high-ticket offer. But before we get into that, let's lay out the foundations. Section 2 is the core principle. So again, stories equals persuasion, not just promotion. Okay, the thing is, you don't just sell in your stories, because if you start selling in your stories, when people open up Instagram, they're not going to want to click on your stories again, or they're not going to read it properly because they're just thinking you're trying to sell them. What you have to do is you have to engineer belief shifts. So you're basically shifting their beliefs subconsciously without them even knowing. Every belief they hold, every frame they have, it's holding them back. It's holding them back from working with you. And you have to break those in every single story sequences you make. Now, every frame that you have on your story, it must build trust, positioning, desire, and urgency. If it doesn't have any of those 4 things, don't post a story at all. Now, by the time you post your high ticket offer, or by the time the product drops, they're literally going to feel stupid not buying, because you've built up trust, you've positioned yourself as an authority, you've built up desire for the product, and you've given them urgency, and also you've engineered their belief shifts. Now, all they have to do is just buy, and that's the easy part. That's how you use stories. Now, engagement equals micro commitment. So every time you have some sort of option to go engagement, like polls, question boxes, countdowns, every interaction that a buyer or a lead has with you, it all compounds over. So start using more polls, start using more question boxes, start using more countdowns, start even using the emoji where they tap on the emoji, because that's an interaction. And if you have enough interactions over a long enough time horizon, you're going to get those guys to commit, and committing basically means buying from you. Now, the third rule is proof over hype. Let others scream about the offer. They can say, our offer is the best, our offer is the best. But you can just show payments. You can show screenshots. You can show testimonials, results, DMs, because that's what the market wants to see. The market doesn't want to see people screaming into their faces about their offer. We have the best offer here, we have the best offer here. You slightly say it, but you have proof. You have proof to back up your claims, because if you don't have proof to back up your claims, it basically means nothing. When you want us to give a claim about an offer, the next couple of slides or the slides before must be showing client testimonials, must be screenshots, must be results, and must be receipts, because that's how you make someone know, like, and trust you and actually believe in your offer. Because why should I trust you if you have no offer? You have no testimonials, That's proof of a hype. Now, tension. You have to build tension. And the best launches are like thriller movies. Every scene that builds up, every scene beforehand, build up the suspense. Now, you have to make sure you don't build the whole load on day 1. Day 1 is, again, part of day 2, day 3, day 4. All of this is building up tension. It's like a movie. People are watching a movie. They can't wait to watch the next scene. They can't wait for the next day to come, because it's going to be another story sequence. And that's how you have to make it. And the way you can make it like that is, again, having perfectly curated Instagram stories, such as the text, the copywriting of the stories must be immaculate. Next thing is really underrated is the photos. If you have some really, really good cinematic photos, always use them. A quick tip on actually creating cinematic photos: if you get your phone out, and when you take a photo, click on where you want to take the photo and move the brightness down, and it just makes it look way more premium. Like I can take a photo of this entire setup. It's gonna look like basic. But if I just remove the brightness, take that down, it's going to look cinematic, it's going to look professional. So it's just a small tip you guys should have. Just taking photos, just always reduce the brightness. It's always going to make it look more professional. And always do some color grading afterwards. Just makes it look way, way better. Fifth is the CTA must always hit. Now, once you've done the first 4 things right, every story sequence is going to end with an action. That's just going to be DM me, vote in the poll, tap the link, Because momentum's gonna die without it. You always need to have CTAs in place, because if you're not, then no one's gonna want to buy from you. Right, now let's go over to section 3, which is the goals of every single phase. So the pre-sequence is market validation, where we're basically just like validating the offer. First off, the whole point of this is to warm up the audience, start conversations, and to refine your language to find out what messaging, what language the audience likes, so that in the hype sequence we can double down on that. Now, hype sequence is days 1 to 5, and this is to build tension, increase engagement, and to position yourself as an authority figure. Okay, just building up tension, again, urgency, stacking client results, client wins, making sure you're the best in the market to do what you're doing. And you do the launch on day 6, which is to review your offer, push in the DMs, create urgency, and then from day 7 onwards, from day 7 to like day 12, day 13, day 14, we're just handling any objections they have. So objection prevention, to knock out any hesitations before they even form on a sales call. And that is section. Now let's move on to section 4, which is the actual story sequences. So let's go over the market validation sequence. And this is like optionally after like 2 to 3 days. This is optional, but this is so powerful. If you can get this right, you're gonna make way more money. You can like cash collect at least 50,000 in the next 21 days if it's done right. Now the purpose of this is to spot high intent prospects early and to refine your messagings based on the responses. So day 1 could be something like, quick question, are you guys struggling with this? Are you guys struggling to lose weight? Are you guys struggling to make money through Instagram? Run a poll, run a couple of polls, ask them even more deep questions. What's your biggest frustration with Instagram right now? What's your biggest frustration in your content right now? And you can have a question box and you can go answer those questions. Now, if I gave you guys a fix for that in 30 days, would you guys want it? Hell yes, and tell me more. Just don't say yes or no. Just have like, hell yes, tell me more. That way you're triggering them into just saying yes either way. Now, day 2, just want to like screenshot the top 3 to 5 responses. Just want to say, this is exactly what I'm building, and then have a poll. If I built, a specific offer, would you want early access? Yes and need now. Again, don't have a no option, because then it's just like, if you have a bunch of people clicking no, it's just not going to look good on your brand, right? Now, every person that clicks yes and need it now, I want you to DM them. Start a conversation with them. Start refining your product now. Start getting them warmed up right now. Now, again, you can have day 3 again, just like repeat day 1 again. But yeah, hype sequence now is days 1 to 5. So the day 1 is basically the tease. It's like a BTS, like just the behind the scenes of your Notion or course dashboard, but just blur it out. Just say like, this is something I've been building out, boys. Like something massive I'm building on. Working on something dangerous. Who wants early access? Yes or no. And you have a couple of these stories again. Just like, even like while you're doing the hype sequence, you still want to be posting like other Instagram stories, not just the one I'm telling you. And the goal of this is to signal that something new is coming. Now, when I say day 1, I don't mean story 1. You can have this section over 5 to 6 Instagram stories. Again, preferably don't have more than 10, because it's just going to look like you're spamming stories, but have 5 to 6 high quality stories on every single day. Now, day proves your social proof and credibility. So this is basically proving that you're the best one in the market. So you can share your own wins, your client wins. Again, just spam people with wins, okay? And then text is why. This is why I had to build this in the next couple of slides. Just show a bunch of wins. And have a countdown timer in 48 hours to 72 hours when the launch is going to be happening. And the goal, again, is to build authority and to anchor transformation when it's possible. Day 3 is now just positioning yourself as an authority and having status in the space. So you want to show your framework preview or just screenshot even more client wins. And just have a post saying, want me to break down how it works? And if they say yes, you just break it down for them in a couple of Instagram story sequences. But you don't actually break it down. You just shift their beliefs so that, when they hop on a sales call, you have no objections and they know it works. And then text is like proof stacks, results compound. Just show even more client wins that this system works. This is why we have the best system in the market. And the goal of this is to increase the desire for the method and to build perceived value. Now we move on to day 4. Now this is where you share a personal story plus some of your own values. So you want to share the mission. You want to share why you're building this, and you want to make it raw and vulnerable. You don't even need to have like text on a screen. You can just like get the phone out and just like record you speaking for like 3-4 minutes, and you can just post it on Instagram stories over a couple of stories. And you have to make sure you're talking directly to your dream client. And again, have a countdown timer for 24 hours, something big is dropping in 24 hours. Now the goal of day 4 is to build connection plus an emotional investment and to nail the why now. Why should they buy now? Why should they get in now? Now day 5 is the final pre-drop hype. And this is where you basically show preview of the portal, the user interface, the modules, everything you're building out, and then just have text that says, all of this dropping tomorrow. And then I have a poll, want the link early? Yes, and then you can have fuck yes. the goal of this is again to stack anticipation, signal exclusivity, and people are basically going to be on the edge waiting for tomorrow's story because they're going to be wanting to get in. They're going to be wanting to see what exactly happens. Now, the day 6, now this is where the launch shop is. Now, we're launching the entire thing. So, day 6 is the launch shop. So, story 1, you basically want to introduce your offer name, what you're going to be offering. Story 2 is like what it's for, who it's for, what it's going to help with. Don't make it too long. Story 3 is like CTA, DM me the word, so a keyword to get early access right now. And then story 4, you just basically want to like, don't open any messages, like screenshot a bunch of people just messaging you. Just like screenshot that and say, a lot of people are getting in, it's going to be closed very, very soon. And again, it's going to build up urgency. So the goal of this is to have an immediate DM surge, get at least $25,000 through the door, and to frame urgency early. Now, day 7 to 8 plus onwards, now the whole point of this is objection handling plus an urgency sequence. Now, the whole point of this is, again, to handle any objections before. And so you can post every day after the post launch for the next week or two. A story proof, testimonial, conversation, payment screenshot, one objection addressed, price, timing, results. For example, why, this is too expensive. Just handle that objection over 3 to 4 story sequences and one hard CTA. Doors are closing soon. DM me if you're still thinking on the edge. Sprinkle in now, like on these stories, a 24-hour countdown. We're almost full text. Scarcity screenshots that we have like a specific seat count. We have 3 seats left. Some stuff like that's going to build up scarcity and urgency even more. I just have a final note about the entire story sequence. This isn't just hype, it's about precision. You're stacking belief, you're building status, you're raising your market temperature every single day. And by the time you launch, people are already going to be sold. They're not going to be on the edge. They're not going to have any objections because you've handled every single one of them. And if you do it right, the only thing left is for them to DM you and ask where to pay. To be honest, you don't even need a sales call if you do it right. And now you're not just launching it, you're engineering demand. If you can do this every single month, imagine the amount of money you're able to collect, $70,000, $80,000 every single month. And that's why you don't want to accept everyone in that 1 month because you want to build that scarcity because those guys are going to be more keen to pay next month because the seats right now, they wanted in, but they couldn't get access. And they can tell it's exclusive. And the more exclusive something is, the more people want in. Now you run the sequence, you make the noise, you stack the sales, let the amateurs, let the small guys in the space see how the hell is this guy 5 steps ahead, right? Now let me know when you guys are ready for the objection scripts and matches. Again, DM me on Instagram down below. Now, let's move on to the ultimate $37 workshop launch system. Now, this is like a low ticket offer, which you can ascend people to the high ticket. Now, this is something you run a couple weeks, I would say, after your high ticket drop. So as you can see, the high ticket drop, let's say you do it in week 1. Week 1 is a high ticket drop. Week 2 is you basically handle any objections and close out sequences. And week 3 is where you start building the $37 workshop. Okay. So the mission is to launch a $37 front end workshop that cash flows day 1, qualifies the buyers, and then feeds the back end. Now, this isn't just like some mini course. It's like a cash priming machine that's engined to build trust, collect liquid cash, and to filter all the buyers who are serious about scaling. So phase 1 is the foundation. So I want you to nail the workshop topic, and this is non-negotiable. Your workshop must solve one clear problem, or must be some money-related problem if it's in your niche, in 5 days or less. So your clients should be getting results in less than 5 days. So for example, get 30 leads in 5 days, book your first sales call, book your first 3 sales calls this week, launch your content system this week, cash collect $10,000 in the next 5 days. Now again, just keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and just sell the result. Now, second thing is the promise and the price. So you want to have one clear promise, one irresistible promise in the next 5 days, nothing more than that. It's just a $37 course. You don't need to be giving 10, 15 promises. And again, price, just make sure it's under $100. I like the price at $37 because people can impulse buy. It's a no-brainer, and it's a serious filter. Now again, if you guys want my workshop, click the second link in the description. You guys can see. Our third step is to build the ascension path first. The back end is like a 3 to 10K offer, which we just built out above, like the story sequences. We will promote in the high ticket offer. Now the back end is we're going to be getting even more sales to the back end through that. The $37 is like a lead magnet with teeth, it's going to claw them in, and then you swallow them down the throat and you just put them in the high ticket. Now every workshop lead is qualified and filtered with back-end potential. So we're going to make sure we we want to maximize the amount of people that buy the workshop, but you want to minimize the people that get into the high ticket from the workshop because you want to qualify them and make sure you can actually get them results. Now phase 2 is the structure. So this is the workshop format. So 5 days, every single day, you want to solve one problem. Okay. The delivery is you can host it live. So the first time you host it live, and then you can just record it, and then you can just put it in some course format and then you can just after that like that as well. That's going to include a start here page, a simple dashboard, and a workbook as well. And I would highly recommend you host it on school for 7 days, and then you go into a WOP, or you host it on a WOP. So here's the funnel overview. So you have a traffic to opt-in page. You can have a like a learning page, opt-in page, sales page with countdown plus scarcity, instant access to classroom plus community, and then you have an automated email to reminder for retarget. So as soon as they join, they put their details in, and your email sequence reaches out, launches out, and then they're getting warmed up even more and more. And you're getting warmed up to a point where they just want to buy the high ticket without the sales call. Now this is the back end setup. So I want you to add a CTA inside the workshop. DM you or book a sales call. So you're gonna have an implementation day on day 6. So days 1 to 5 is the workshop, and day 6 is an implementation call. And on that day, they're booking a call with you to implement the next steps. And the entire thing is you want to have a video before. They're booking that with you, and this is a VSO basically pushing your back end offer out. And when they're booking a call with you, basically give them a bit of value, helping them out with what exactly the workshop said, and then it's just like a sales call, just disguised in an implementation call. Now, phase 3 is the promotion. So once you've built the entire thing out, now we haven't launched it yet. It hasn't gone live. Now we want to do a pre-launch. So I want you to start teasing one core problem. Use Instagram stories, posts, convos, even Reels at this point. Start using Instagram Reels as well, and emails. Have like a hype list built up. I just built like a massive warm lead this. Now the hype sequence is going to go for 5 days. So day 1, you're going to be saying building something deadly. You know, just like don't give too much information to this. You want to keep it like mysterious, okay? Instead of building something out for you guys, you know, something everyone in the market can buy. It's going to be insane. Day 2 is just like screenshot conversation and proof it again. Just screenshot all your testimonials, all your results. Just scatter them on like some stories. Day 3 is like a CTA DM you into the waitlist. So these guys are on the waitlist. Get them in early. Sometimes dropping in a couple of days. Day 4 is the countdown sticker plus limited spots again, just building up scarcity, building up that urgency. Day 5 is DMing everyone who engaged. So DM everyone who engaged with the story sequences. Now, once that is done, now on day 6 we launch. So launch the low ticket workshop, open the card on day 1. So everyone that won in on the waitlist, get those guys in. Everyone that engaged, get those guys in the workshop. Urgency stacks day 3 to 5, so just build up urgency. Day 6 is to stack the urgency, and day 7 is to close the cart, and then on day 8 you start the live workshop. And you host it for 5 days. Then over like, I would say, that's day 7. So over a period of 3 weeks, the workshop's done and completed. Then on week 4, you can even sell the recordings of that workshop. You can issue sell it for the next couple of months, and then you can record the workshop again, redo the live thing, and resell it again. Now you can have like multiple different workshops which you can sell, not just one workshop. Now, phase 4 is the conversion machine. So this is basically maximizing leads plus the back-end ascension. Now, I want you to understand that every lead that you get in must be tagged and tracked. Now, the DM flow post-purchase, so after the workshop, they've watched the workshop, ask them what made you join, you know, what are you hoping to fix, and what do you want to help, you know, going further. And this is basically going to call them into a back-end high-ticket solution. So this is the post-workshop ascension offer. So you can also host a one-to-one, a call, a group coaching funnel, or a sprint-based implementation offer, or you can just sell them into your high-ticket offer, which we are promoting in the Instagram stories. Now, phase 5 is the machine. So you're going to automate, optimize, and scale. This is the entire like point of this now. It's going to automate, optimize, and scale the entire thing. So I want you to record the workshop. And you can like launch this once every 2 months. Launch it once every 2 months. You can stack testimonials, refine page copy, and you can shorten the sales cycle. And then you can eventually run paid ads to it at that point, because then you're going to be getting like a bunch of people through the door, and you can ascend them. So the $37, like it's not just a low ticket. It's like an ATM, because when it's positioned correctly and run correctly, you can not just print upfront cash. You can be printing so much money in the back end. You're building trust, you're qualifying leads, and you're sending buys as well as scaling your back end. Now, once you run it, you're literally going to win. Like, you're just going to be making way more money than any of your competitors, and you can even teach this inside of your one-to-one coaching program.